Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. It's Leo here. So I want you to try a little thought experiment with me. If I asked you to picture the most beautiful beach in the world, what would you imagine? Go on, close your eyes for a second. Chances are you're thinking of, powdery white sand, maybe some palm trees, and that crystal clear turquoise water. I know that image well. For years, that was my one and only definition of paradise. And don't get me wrong, I've seen that beach. It exists, and it's every bit as breathtaking as you'd think. But my travels have taught me that beautiful can be so much more. I mean, it can be powerful, it can be wild, and sometimes it can even be a little bit strange. I used to think all beautiful beaches were like warm and welcoming, but I've learned that some of the most stunning coastlines are the ones that are a little intimidating. Does that make sense? So today, excited, I want to share 3 stories with you about 3 beaches that completely redefined my idea of beauty. Okay, so our first stop is in Greece, at a place I had only ever seen in pictures. You've probably seen it too. It's called Naviago Beach, or, well, more famously, Shipwreck Beach. Getting there is an adventure in itself. You have to take a boat, and as we were setting off from the port, the water was a deep, dark blue. But the captain, this old Greek fisherman with a sun-weathered face, he just smiled and said, "Just wait." And he was right. As the boat turned into the cove, the watercolor changed so fast it felt like magic. It went from dark blue to this vibrant, electric, almost glowing shade of turquoise. It didn't look real. And then you see the beach itself, this perfect arc of white sand, completely surrounded by towering white limestone cliffs. Is this tiny, perfect paradise, hidden from the rest of the world. But right in the middle of this pristine scene is this huge, rusty, decaying shipwreck. It's been lying there for decades, and it's right in the center of everything. At first, it seems out of place. This piece of ugly, broken metal in the middle of nature's perfection. But the more I looked at it, slowing down for emphasis, the more I realized it's what makes the place so special. While I was walking around it, I started to wonder about its story. Like, what was its name? Where was it going before it ended up here? This perfect beach had a secret, a mystery. The beauty of Naviago wasn't just in its perfect colors, it was in the contrast between the timeless natural perfection of the cove and the decaying man-made story of the shipwreck. It's beautiful because it makes you wonder. For our next stop, we have to travel all the way to the other side of the world, to New Zealand. And this experience, well, it wasn't about arriving at one iconic spot, but more about the journey itself. I was hiking in the Abel Tasman National Park, which is famous for its coastal track. You spend hours walking through this lush, green native forest. The air smells, damp and earthy, and you can hear the sounds of strange birds you've never heard before. For most of the hike, you're surrounded by giant ferns and ancient trees, and you can just barely see glimpses of the blue water through the leaves. You feel completely disconnected from the modern world. And then, just as you're starting to get tired, the path opens up and you look out over a secluded golden sand bay that you have all to yourself. I remember the first time it happened. I had been walking for about 2 hours and I ended up at a place called Torrent Bay. The tide was out and the golden sand stretched for hundreds of meters towards this calm emerald green water. There was no one else there, just me. I dropped my backpack, took off my hiking boots, and just soaked it all in. the beauty here felt different. It wasn't presented to you on a tour boat, you know? You had to work for it. You had to hike through the forest, get a little sweaty, and earn that view, right? The beauty was in the harmony of it all, the way the dense green forest perfectly framed the golden sand, and how the calm sea invited you to cool off after your walk. It's a quiet, an intimate kind of beauty. It's the feeling of discovery, of finding your own private paradise where the forest meets the sea.
All right, for our final beach, I need you to forget everything about warm, sunny paradises. Let's go to Iceland, to a place that feels more like another planet than a beach destination. Reynisfjara, the black sand beach. I know, it's a mouthful. That's Reynisfjara. From the moment you step out of the car, you know this place is different. The sand isn't white or golden, it's jet black, the color of volcanic ash. It feels incredibly dramatic. As you walk towards the water, you see these massive geometric columns of basalt rock rising up from the sand. They look like they were carved by some ancient giant, not formed by nature. And then there's the ocean. This is the North Atlantic, and it is not messing around. The waves are huge and loud and powerful. They crash onto the black sand with this overwhelming roar. It's not a place for swimming. In fact, it's actually quite dangerous. The signs everywhere warn you about sneaker waves that can appear without warning. But you don't come here to relax. You come here to feel something. Standing there, with the cold wind blowing in your face, looking at the black sand, the strange rock formations, and the angry gray ocean, it makes you feel incredibly small. It's a humbling experience. The beauty of Reynisfjara is not comforting. It's raw, rugged, and a little bit intimidating. It's the beauty of the planet showing off its pure, untamed power. It's breathtaking not because it's pretty, but because it's majestic and overwhelmingly real. So, there you have it. 3 beaches, 3 continents, 3 completely different kinds of beauty. A Greek paradise with a mysterious secret, a hidden New Zealand bay where nature exists in perfect harmony, and a dramatic Icelandic coastline that reminds you of the raw power of the earth. My journey has taught me that there isn't one right answer to the question, what is a beautiful beach? Beauty isn't just in a perfect picture, it's in a feeling. It's in a story, it's in a sense of accomplishment, and it's in the feeling of awe. So my challenge to you is to, look for your own kind of beautiful. Maybe it's a crowded city beach full of life, or a rocky shore near your home. The most beautiful places are the ones that make you feel something, the ones that change your perspective, even just a little. Thanks for joining me on this little trip today. Keep exploring.